Hey everybody, welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. Today I'm going to tell you guys all about this really awesome new product that I found, and it's called a scorch marker. Now before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I put out new videos all the time. Hit the bell icon because that'll alert you to when I post a new video. So what the scorch marker is, it is a product I saw an ad for on Facebook. This is not a sponsored video. And it is basically a chemical reaction with heat. So you can burn into wood just by writing on it rather than having to trace with a wood burner. It gives you a nice even burn, which is really nice, and all you need is a heat gun and this marker. The marker does say it is non-toxic, and let's see, what else? Specially formulated, precise wood burning projects. Works on most types of wood, easy to use, non-toxic, simply draw, heat, and burn. I will link this below. It was about $14.99 on Amazon, and I will tell you a little bit goes a long way. I have done quite a few more than just this with the wood burning pen, and it's really, really great. So let's get over so I can show you guys how to do this. All I've done is kind of what I call a reverse weed, which is where I take out the word and not the background on these. And I just used, if you guys are interested, this is the font called Christmas Time. It is one of my favorites, and I know it's called Christmas Time, but honestly, I use it all year round. This is contact paper from the Dollar Tree. I'm using this so that I can get the vinyl to stick to it, but I need it to stick to this wood. So we'll just go ahead, and I'm going to show you real quick. So what I do, especially when doing using contact paper, I flip my design upside down, and I peel it this direction instead of the reverse. Instead of peeling this from the backing, I peel the backing from the vinyl. A lot of people have been learning that trick from me, and I'm so glad you guys are liking it, so you're welcome. So all we're going to do is place our design onto our wood slice, and you can place it wherever you want, however you want, doesn't matter. If you want it centered, just make sure you're kind of being a little more careful than I was. And then all I'm going to do is I start my vinyl peeling off of the backing, and it's actually not on the wood, so it's a little bit of a pain, but what I do is I'll just peel it away from the backing, and then you just peel your contact paper away from your vinyl, and we'll go back through and we'll make sure everything's stuck down. You'll just run your finger along it, just make sure it's all stuck down pretty nicely, and you're just going to do that for each one of these. So I'm going to do each one of them really quickly. And when we're done, we'll go over and I'll show you guys how we're going to put the pen in it so that we can burn them. So we're ready to use the pen, and this is the scorch pen, scorch marker. I have left the link below. It's about $14.99 on Amazon, and honestly, I think it is worth every penny. So I used the vinyl obviously as a stencil, so all you do is you take your scorch pen, and just a little bit goes a long way, so you don't have to do a ton, but you do want to make sure that you are fully covering. And it is kind of orangey, and I don't know how well you guys can see this on the screen, but it is turning my wood just a little bit orange, so it is easy to see where you have written and where you haven't. And it does have a bit of a finer tip on one end, so you can get into these little lines with like the ease. And I'm just going to color this one in for you guys, and we'll show you guys this one burning, and then I'll do the other two off camera. But like I said, a little bit goes a long way, so you don't need a ton. And you just want to make sure that you are getting into all the crevices there. And you do want to make sure when you're doing this that you're using a nice smooth piece of wood. They tell you that you want to get it down to about a 220 grit sandpaper. This came pretty, these are also these wood slices from Amazon, linking these below as well for you. But these came pretty smooth, so I didn't need to do any of that. So once you've done that, get a heat gun, and not a hair dryer. It has to be a heat gun. And all you're going to do is remove your vinyl. So let me do that real quick. So you want to make sure you take your vinyl off. Don't leave the vinyl on. And just get those centers off. Let me pull those off real quick. You definitely don't want to leave the vinyl on when you do this. I do not recommend it. Turn your heat gun on. And you'll see it's going to look like it's drying first. And it does take a second for your heat gun to heat up, so just keep that in mind. But I don't know how well you guys can see, but it looks like it's drying a little bit first. And as it dries, you'll see how it's starting to come back now? I don't know how you guys can see this, but see it's starting to come back? Watch this. The warmer it gets, the brighter it's going to come out. So you can start to see the T, and there's the E, the R, the I. Make sure I get the dot. And what you're going to do is use your heat gun, and you're just going to scorch it or burn it so that it is as dark as you want it to be. So you guys can, the more heat you add, as you see, the darker it is getting. So lesson, don't do this in the house with a very sensitive smoke detector, but the longer you leave your heat source on, the darker your words become. So you can see right there, we have a nice dark word. And these are beautiful. These work really well for things like table like settings. If you are having your wedding, that's what these are going to be used for, is a wedding. You could do these with these would make really pretty ornaments. You can do designs, names, whatever you want. But I will say to make sure you do sand it a little bit. These are fairly smooth, but I probably could have sanded them a little bit more than I did because I do have a little bit of bleed. But that's okay because I think that looks a little more natural that way. But again, if you are using these in the house, make sure that your window is open or that your smoke detector isn't insane like mine is. So again, just draw all the way around and then just do your heat source. I hope you guys had a lot of fun learning how to make these. I think these are a lot of fun. I did this one with the stencil. This one I did freehand. I'm going to just go ahead and get this one done, and then I'm going to do the rest outside. Lesson learned. But this is just a really fun, easy thing to do, and honestly very inexpensive. The heat gun was about 20 bucks, and then you can get them even cheaper from like Harbor Freight or Amazon. You can also get these wood slices. They were on a lightning deal for $10, but I will link them below so you guys can find the ones I'm using. And then all you do is just peel off. Super easy. Make sure you get all your excess vinyl off because you don't want to melt it. And then all you gotta do is just heat it. So I hope you guys had fun learning how to play with this new scorch marker. These are really fun. I'm so glad that I found this. It's such a neat idea and so easy to use. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I am always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time. I hope you guys had a great time and happy crafting.